During my recent trip to Ukraine, I also wanted to take the opportunity to visit some of the historical and lost forts of past history in the western Ukraine. And there's probably no fort more impressive to see than Tarakaniv Fortress, if you can find it. Slowly, this amazing place is going to get lost to history, and soon it will just be a memory of an amazing construction. In 1795, Alexander II decided to build a fortress next to the railroad going from Kiev to Lviv, to secure the western frontier, as Russia now shared a border with the Austrian Empire. The construction, however, was postponed for almost 50 years due to the French Crimean Wars. The construction of the earthworks commenced in 1860 under the supervision of Crimean War veteran Eduard Torebin, a Baltic German military engineer and Imperial Russian Army general. He had been in charge of fortifications and sapping works during a number of important Russian military campaigns. In 1873, about 66 million rubles was levied by the government for the project. From 1870 to 1880, the fortress was actively built. Thus, Alexander, who was assassinated in 1881, never saw the fort to completion, although he may have visited, given his final instructions, shortly before he was murdered. Besides stone and bricks was used as primary material, they used concrete. Previously unknown in the Russian Empire, it was used here for the first time, and the fortress was completed in 1890. In 1905, the troops stationed here in the fortress rebelled due to the officers abusing of soldiers and poor food supply. The rebellion, of course, was suppressed, and the fortress was turned into a military prison for a while. In the beginning of 1915, during World War I, the fortress was used by the Southwestern Front troops of the Russian Empire as a defensive fortification until the Great Retreat in 1915. It was later won back after the Brusilov offensive in the summer of 1916, when the 4th Austrian-Hungarian Army was pushed out of the fortress. It's claimed some 200 soldiers of the Austrian army are buried here in the vicinity of the fortress as a result of that battle. In 1920, the fortress was occupied by Polish soldiers, and the Red Army's 1st Cavalry Army, led by Simeon Budeni, attempted to attack it, but ultimately they failed, having lost almost 1,000 soldiers. The Poles, however, now fled to a better, safer position as the Russians advanced again. No battle for the fortress took place here during the Second World War. However, it was refurbished from 1933 to 1935 by the Polish army, who had deployed a garrison there. But in June 1939, they lost it to advancing German troops. It is an amazing sight to see. Each side is some 240 meters long and up to 6 meters. It has 7 underground levels with a series of tunnels, kitchens, accommodations, laundry, church, a morgue. It had phone lines, 3 water wells, and sewage. It also had stores for gunpowders, medical rooms, and there's also a range of military accommodations for troops and artillery fortifications, some of them upgraded over the years. The rear side have a deep ditch which could have been crossed by a retracting bridge. It is hard work to battle your way into the fort today, and it is slowly crumbling away.
But there's much more still collapsed underground here. See the top of that tree? It's not a small tree. The path that runs along the ditch. I'm on literally the dirt wall protecting the fort from direct fire. Now that must have taken a good deal of work to build this up. And of course all the trees wouldn't have been here, and so on and so forth. I haven't quite made it to the ditch yet, and the first thing I'm starting to see is something that looks like a tunnel. Now there's so many evolutions to this fortress that what is what may be hard to distinguish. But I'm starting to see a tunnel end there, a covered tunnel with a lot of holes in them. There was a lot of battles going on here. Very rich history. I cannot wait to see this fort. I've heard so much about it. And given the history of this, it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm almost thinking I must be in the ditch, being surrounded by walls, but I'm actually not entirely sure. This is a absolutely unique fort, certainly for the Ukraine, but also for the rest of the world. This 19th century fort was initially built to protect the railroads, but there's much, much more to it. Just out of curiosity here. A room in the outer wall of the ditch. I mean, this must be the ditch. And incidentally, in case you're wondering, these plants to the right and left of me are very, very poisonous to the touch, which may or may not get in my way. We shall see. Now, if here's a turn, that might explain why there's so much damage to the walls up here that look like they've been fired upon. And there's a warning of the plants I was telling you about. And of course the warning signs, I don't know what they mean, because I don't read Ukrainian. But here I just see hallways and cement and rebar. No, I don't see rebar. I lie. I think I'm going to circle the fort first and then do the tunnels after. But look at the damage. I can't wait, just gotta see what this says. Just want to see if any of this was clip steel. There's been some efforts to try to restore and revive this, which had not been very successful. I think that's what these remains are from. So here, officially, is the entrance. And this entrance is certainly not 19th century. However, also know that the Ukrainian army had, over the years, after World War II, tried to revive the fort a little bit, to try to use it for storage and different things. That none of it worked out because, well, guess what? It's not in particularly phenomenal shape. But this is such an amazing place. And certainly the entranceway here looks in great shape. So what are we looking at here? So the entrance, first thing, it's covered by firing ports. There must have been a gate as well. Could be a little slide for grenades.
You and I have to see this place. Many of you have never heard of it, and I'm afraid that in not too many decades it will be lost to nature.
So let's take a look at the welcome wagon in here. Yeah, firing ports, well, ventilation. I think there's ventilation. It's hard to say because it's been sealed off. 3 steel beams, but there's a pipe. I think they're in here. Alright. So, that's how you welcome your guests, by shooting at them. It should be. All right. This is, I think I used the term fort. That's probably wrong. I think we can call this an outright fortress because this is so enormously large that the term fort doesn't really cover it. And think this is going to be a room. Yeah. No. Yes. Well, this looks like a break up at some point. I know there are so many tunnels here that I have to explore and try not to get lost. I think up here is going to be, oops, similar. Yeah, just a room up here as well. And the same on the other side. Well, I say that, believing it, but look at this. What a gorgeous welcome this is. I mean, this almost looks like a barrack. Looks like a peacetime barracks. Hallway. This is gorgeous. Wow. Now, the evolutions and upgrades. I don't know. What is that? There's a tunnel in there, isn't there? What is in there? This is where, should I follow the tunnel? Or should I go inside the fort and then work my way backwards towards the tunnel? I'm spoiled for choice. But if this is a caserne, this may also be a powder magazine. Which means if this is a powder magazine, this tunnel here circles around. But this is, and that could be, you know what, let's take the tunnel. Let's take the tunnel, what the hell? This, I think this is a powder magazine. It is a powder magazine in the Vauban style. This has been bricked up. This is the main room. From the other side, what a gorgeous room it is. I mean, just look at this. And I haven't even entered this enormous place yet. I'm just going to continue down the powder magazine tunnel here because it's here and I can. And you all know I like tunnels. All right. So now I go back into the proper entrance and continue around inside the fort. Yeah. Wow. Now what caught my attention was the fact that they told me there's 7 floors of underground. It could also be a translation thing. Ah, look at this. This almost have to be a way up to the ramparts. That's inside the fort on the entrance. This must be up to the ramparts. That's to the inside. Well, let's go have a look here first. This almost have to be a place to roll the cannons up and out on them ramparts, since there's a powder magazine right down here. It must be, yep. Here you get out to the walls. I have a decent bit of steel. Down here's the tunnel. And then here are the emplacements for the cannons. But I'm not sure I want to walk around up here. I want to get inside this amazing fort. So, obviously, we know this was an artillery fort. Cannons on the walls, 4 sides, enormous ditch. So we have some idea what we're looking at. Okay, that's interesting. That I did not see. To the left and right of me is the ramps where the cannons would come up. Down here. That, I am curious. I feel I should go this way. I love exploring these fortresses without a map. Just makes it more organic. Well, we're talking about battle damage. I'm talking about cement and stone. And this was the first fortress in Ukraine that was built with cement. They actually had to get specialized workers to do this because nothing had been built in cement before. Heavy steel frame. Lots of cement. I mean, this could be original cement, but it looks pretty damn clean. And here's the actual fort interior. So this is the actual fortress. We'll walk here, and you see, I see the stone work, the brickwork, and then encased in cement and a steel door. I do believe this was a newer upgrade. I was curious to see what this is here. I would imagine there was a wall here. It's not quite big enough to be powder magazine. If you look on the walls, all the steel mounts here. Look at this. This gives you an idea how thick some of this is. Wow. Whoa. Well, here's a view. Wow. See how clean it is at the end there. That must be one of the upgrades. That must be the new cement, although I can see brickwork on top of it. We'll go have a look at that. Now, this is damage due to shelling or natural decay. It's very hard for me to tell. But wow, it's amazing. I'm in the middle of nowhere, Ukraine, and here's more people. Good morning. Just want to let people know that I'm here so they don't have a heart attack. Look at this steel plate. here. That's cool. Look at this. Heavy steel crossbeams. Wow. I'm coming down a different ramp than I thought I was going to, depending if I'm coming down to where I started, which I almost think I'm not. I'm not. I went in down there. So here's another ramp up to what I just came from. Must be an artillery ramp. And you see the cement and the stone and the steel here leading into the actual fort. Must be a non-original upgrade. It just has to be. I mean,
the fortress would have accommodated up to 800 soldiers, and the entrances were located east and west side.
where do you go from this? That's where I... Look at this amazing building. This really is amazing. From here it looks like shrapnel in the walls. In the ceilings there. It looks like that from here. Standing on an old powder magazine. Wow. Yeah, how do you restore this?
The mosquitoes here. They come with their own serial numbers. And the large greenery surrounding the fort is very poisonous to the touch. Something I had fortunately been warned against.
Huh. Must be little barrack rooms. But again, you have something that look like ventilation. You have steel beams in the roofs. And again, you have something that look like shrapnel burns. This was, as you can tell, I'm not the only one here. Somehow I don't think from here to here there was always a wall breach here. I don't think here was supposed to be a walkway. There wasn't. This must have been part of, well, it could have been a walkway, a tunnel, but not a full breach like this. Here's signs of a broken ditch and a wall aiming this way. But look at this amazing place. Let's see what this is. I'm a little curious. Firing position. This certainly looks new, doesn't it? Yeah, this almost looks Stalin line new. There are Stalin line bunkers in the vicinity By that I mean some 100 kilometers, 50 kilometers, 60, 70 from here. This seems very new and reinforced, and you all know how I feel about stairways. This is older. This is an older firing position. But certainly, well, what a strange way of doing it. There looked like there was an armor plate here. You know, one of those little plates where you'd have a hatch that you would fold up and connect. But that would mean this would be 1915. No, wait a minute. That could also be 1924 to 1941. Trying to determine the upgrade, the age of the upgrades. That's hard. That's the outer wall that looks so new. Weird indent. But there's an upstairs from here. There's probably also downstairs, and there's a corridor here that leads out and out. Oh, that makes sense, because here was a wall. This is where the ditch was broken. Outside there was a wall crossing that ditch, so you could roll weaponry out here outside the actual fort proper. Yeah. So again, we had steel on the roof, iron, and this would roll. Where does this go? This also goes down outside the fort proper. Yes. This also rolls out outside the proper fort, and then, well, if I'm not much mistaken, I'm going to come into the walkway between two powder magazines. There'll be a light in there, and the powder magazine will be in here. Certainly that's how I'm imagining it. That's how it looks like in my head. A window in front of a window? A window in front of a lighting window. That's interesting. Alright, so I have a tunnel here that... Wow, what is this? Wow, look at this. Wow.
Ниже пошло, пошли.
So this is the central staircase again. And this is one of the tunnels that are just running away from here. So, this room is not above the circular room with a pillar. Wow. vaulted ceiling. Not a banister, it's simply a rail here. So, what's down here? There's a slightly broken staircase. This is the other staircase. Down to the center room. So, now I would be above the entrance where there's nothing. That's kind of surprising. I thought that was going to be... Well, this has been bricked up. This is a new fix, meaning there was a large hole here. Clearly. So, pipe could have run in here. I wonder if we're dealing with electricity of any kind. Here, yeah, we are. There's electricity running. There was a lamp there. So we are dealing with electricity. Okay. Let's go have a look. I think something got dropped down the staircase. Took down a bunch of steps. Wonder if that, and the same thing here. I wonder if there's a cannon barrel up here that was just kicked, thrown something down. And here you look in the ground. There's a round. I think this is a fix. Either this is a fix or here was a door. Here was a door that would swing open here. So this was an outside. Fine position. Outside the fort. To the, if I am what I think I am, outside the fortress proper. Which would be this. Which would be where the cannons would be. Which is what that probably is. Yeah, here are the ramparts for the cannons. So this here is a whole new evolution of cement and steel here. Cannon garage. I mean, look at this. If I had known any better, I would say this would definitely be just before World War I evolution. But again, this was the first fort in Ukraine that was built with cement. And 19th century, they would have at least the possibility of incorporate steel, but they didn't anywhere else. I mean, 1885 was when the shell crisis arose, and they elsewhere in Europe started looking at fixes and emergency patches to the forts. At Mutzig in France and Belgium, what could we do to protect against this? So that means if this is built before, they may have been foresight enough to have built some sort of steel inside with the cement, although this is clearly a masonry tunnel. So I think they just later reinforced that section, is what I would believe. Oh, staircase. With a tunnel leading in underneath me. So if I continue this way, Do I circle the fort? You know, I'm just gonna circle the fort and find out. Oh, wait a minute. I mean, this is amazing. This is the kind of breach in the other room that I would imagine have been patched up, which can almost only be attributed to battle damage. I mean, look at this. That'll be the other side of the Kassan. There used to be a floor here. You see the holes for the cross beams upon which the floor would be. I would imagine it was a wooden floor. There's a little green coloring in there. That looks, sort of brings me back to World War I again. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay. Well, you know me in tunnels. Can't help himself. Has to happen. Especially because I have no idea what to expect at the other end. I would imagine I can circle the entire inner fort in these hallways. I would imagine here would have been a water tap, which again, quite modern. Yeah, a little stair step there. Well, it looks dark up there. And in there, I wonder why. Back out to the fort proper, in front of the Kassan. Oh, steel door. I don't think there would have been a bridge, but there would have been a room here. See, this is left of the floor, which was actually a very thick floor. So there would have been another room, and possibly a wooden wall. The bricks that came off this floor is missing. I would imagine, true to tradition, that was being used by civilians now to repair their houses after one war or another. But there's a very heavy steel door there and here. It's almost too heavy to believe this was a part of the prison. But why would there be such a heavy steel frame inside the fort, leading inside the fort to a room that's just facing the courtyard? Alright, so we gotta see what this is. I see steel in the ceiling up here. Soldier's way out to a fighting position leading into another wall. I think this is a soldier's position leading out onto the rampart side. Yeah, this is a covered entrance. But this is an entrance. The wall to my left, again, cement covering this walk out to where the artillery batteries would be. Yeah. Very nice, very clean steel cement here. Well, at least I see cement. Yeah. Look at this, you get out here too. Again, fighting front. Well, the ramparts would be here. Huge dirt mound in front of the covered exit here. Just look at this, this is amazing. This is really modern. This really is very, very modern for the time. And then a dirt wall on the outside. I wonder, see, if I was to make a guess, I was saying all of this here is new, and originally there was the exit there with a sloping, probably a sloping door that would be there. And all of this has been added on for protection against direct fire. I'm just thinking this looks like there's a straight groove, and the similar on the other side. When you see the photos from this place, the steel and cement you just don't see, because it's as if you didn't. I didn't expect this, because it's as if all of this is from a different era. It's almost, well, again, it's the evolution of a fort. Like they built one fort on top of the other fort. This is all the new modern steel beam reinforced cement here. This is not, you wouldn't be able to roll a cannon through there. That's a bit of a turn. But certainly soldiers would have been able to come out of here. And then I wonder if they're similar on the other side. Wow. Again, what am I looking at here? Munition lift? I would like to see a munition lift at some point. I would imagine there would have to be one. Looks more like ventilation. It's sooted inside. I think this was a chimney. I think these stones looks pretty blackened inside from smoke, heating, ventilating smoke from different places in the fort. And we're not far from an era where this fort would have been heated by fire and torches. Central heating may be a little bit much to expect. That goes to the center of the fort, and I am going to go down here to the tunnel that continued this way. These are definitely stone steps. All right, so now there was a pipe that led somewhere in this general direction. Oh. This is another entrance here that's being defended by a firing position. Staircase in the tunnel, and underneath where I am, identical to the other room. So Does this just round the fort? Gets me to a staircase. Up. Up would be ramparts. Or, again, you see the steel and the roof and the cement. Yeah. Out onto the ramparts again, where the cannons would be, the soldiers would fight from. Where the ditch is on the other side of this. Oh, we got a little damage here. Now, if I could identify actual battle damage in any of these new walls, that would give me an idea when they were made. All right, I guess we have to go down now. To a significant degree. Because underneath me is another tunnel that runs generally in the same direction. Close defensive part. Very intriguing with these firing positions with those steel covers. So, well, you know me. Just can't let me inside when I know there's a tunnel. Well, this is interesting. So, what this was. This is generally under the staircase. And this little room here. This could, I suppose, just be a protected. I don't think there's a little room under the staircase. I think I can circle the fort inside these tunnels. So if I just take a look here for a minute. I was above here a minute ago. Let's see. So you have rooms. Oh, wait a minute. This is where the fireplace was. Yeah. There's a stone floor. That certainly dates back to original construction. It really looks like there are pipes from chimneys. It looks like there are pipes from chimneys from all over the fort that congregates in this one place. In the walls upstairs, they were running as well. That means this could also be the kitchen. There's a reason why the floor is different. And only this part. This turns into a chimney upstairs as well. And he used to be, this floor is sort of sectioned off. I would not be surprised if there's a kitchen in here, to be quite honest. Let's take a look at the next one. This looks like it's under the main staircase where I was above. I was looking into the main caserne, and I think we're looking at the technical. That's where all the ventilation pipes. Obviously there was a tank in there. And then there's, this must have been the technical part. Heating, yeah, now we're back outside in the caserne. What is this? What do we have here? What happened to this thing? I'm gonna have a look. What's that? There's another cross hallway. This is the hallway I was in. Let's see what's in this room here. Because it looked rather interesting. I can actually smell fuels. Fuels, oils, something here. Could have been a boiler. Some sort of a heating. It smells a little bit of get that industrial feel that you wouldn't from a barrack itself or a caserne where the men would be actually sleeping. And this, again, another one of these. Alright, there's a few of these. Since everything's a little different, I guess I have to have a look at them all. You actually have mounts for equipment. Yeah, look at the tile. This is where the generators were for the fort. So, they have their own generator, their own power supply. I'm being outside and away from everything. It almost have to have had. And this cable leads, these cables would lead into the barracks, which is behind me now. All right. Good. So this is totally the technical section that is separated from where the men would actually sleep and live. That's an interesting thing to know. This is down there where we were, and holy crap on a stick. You see how deep that is? I would imagine we have found the well. I certainly hope we found the well. Alright, so this is, yeah, we looked at this from above. So, coming down this way, I'll see the groove in the ground there, running into the technical room. So down here, there was another slider down. Storage rooms. If it was the kitchen that was up there. then that would make sense. Why there would be a storage room here. And looks like a collapse outside the tunnel, which, there are quite a few holes in the ground here. Look at this, there's a whole new world down here. There's a whole new... Actually, this looks like ventilation as well there. Why would anything be ventilating into here? Wow. Something fiery in here. Well, there could have been a fire in here since the roof had all sooted. That's just an indent. Where the hell does that go? There's an old tunnel back there, leading away from the center. This is amazing. So, well, I would be hard pressed if I didn't try to go here, make my way through the collapsing rubble of the old tunnel, and see what's on the other side. What kind of person would I be if I didn't do that? Why is that section actually shifted from the base? How is that even possible? How does that happen? Well, of course, if something... Alright, so the whole roof is falling apart. So the whole roof here has come away in a section and is falling apart. And I guess maybe an explosion upstairs explains why that section is askew. Wow, collapsed tunnel, collapsed tunnel. Like how and when? Holy crap. Look at this. It's shifted on its entire base. Everything here shifted. There must have been a catastrophic explosion upstairs. This is not natural erosion. And you may understand why I'm not speaking very loud in these places. Here's the rest of the collapsed tunnel down here. See, this is all collapsed. But I see sunshine with the daylight down there. So maybe a foraging port. Maybe a way to take food deliveries. But to give you an idea of how this is built, because it is slowly coming apart over my head. And it's even separated there. Look at this. The pillar's not even connected here. What is holding up this roof? Wait a minute, my head. There's barely a couple of bricks holding this thing together. What the hell happened here? Right? What happened here? I'm just gonna balance my way out of this neatly collapsing little paradise here. Red brick, yellow brick, stone, collapsing brick. Very neat. think there's another well right there in front of me. Certainly there's a hole. It's fairly deep, but not that deep. That's interesting. That really is something. What have we here? We have a hole up to the next floor. I wonder if there was a cylinder sitting here. Something stood here. Maybe a cylinder, maybe a water tank. And then the out is that way. Into the center caserne. And here, what an amazing place. So many years of evolutions of construction here. Wow. And you have some sections that look so nice and neat. And then some that is just shredded by time or events. I'm thinking a lot of this is time. Just decay. And then you have a wall like this that's perfectly pristine with trees and leaves and everything growing on top of it, which is still in pristine shape. So there almost must have been something more to this. There must have been some catastrophic events to make the caserne look like this. I mean, we look at the caserne building stone here, and then right over here you have this beautiful yellow clean stone. I mean, and this is the room where there was a wood floor. See from the indents, lots of steel doors. Lots of steel doors and hatches in every walkway. So this was then the caserne, where the men would live in the center. Being in the center of the fort, holy. It's also had a significant amount of bad days. This staircase is well worn. Not broken, it's just worn. You could really tell. I'll show you how much this is, how this has been worn down by people walking on it. This is not like the bricks are broken. So this will be the center hallway of the caserne building. I guess this will be the last piece to collapse when the building comes down, which one day it will if something isn't done about it. But what do you do to a building like this? What do you do to preserve a building like this? I mean, right? See, the upper floors have come away. Big stones on the bottom here. And then built up from there on the red brick, yellow brick. And a staircase that is in far worse shape than the one on the other side, so of course I'll take this. I mean, look at this. And this is the roof that looks like it's in good shape. How can this be natural decay? Some of this must have been significant events. Let's take this one. It's in fine shape. It's a beautiful staircase. I'll definitely be here in the morning. See all the rubble I'm walking on? Well, that's where it's coming from. I don't think there is an upper floor here. Oh, this looks like a big panoramic window. It's not even a door. This is a large panoramic window. Wow. I wish I could see photos from when this place was in its prime. Look into a wooden covering there, and there's another little cement reinforced. This like cathedral. And yes, I'm whispering because the damn place is coming apart. I mean, look at this, look at the decay. Look how the bricks are literally crumbling out of the walls. I mean, I'd be an idiot. A man would be a complete moron to walk around in here without a helmet, filming this stuff just to show you guys so you can keep safe and you don't have to. Right? Right. Well, there's a ventilation window. Wow. Now, like I said, you would have to be crazier than a rabid bat to walk through an enormous crumbling fort hallway like this. So I thoroughly hope you're enjoying it. I mean, Jesus, look at this, look at these rooms. I mean, how is that even... Well, least the birds are still enjoying it. And actually so am I. How can you not enjoy this? But imagine when those soldiers here, walking through this in its prime, coming here, and I would imagine you would have to have the officers up here and the men below or in the wings. It almost couldn't be any different. So why is there a staircase here? Into a room? Another staircase. This is so elaborate. This is so ornate. You stand in this one building that's falling apart, and this one, which looks almost pristine, it must almost have had something to do with the upgrades. I mean, what else? Look at what I'm standing in here. Where we were before, nothing was out of place. And another stairway down, another staircase down to the next room here. Again, full of roof on the floor. Amazing. Oh God, look at this. It would be hard to say that decay can't be beautiful, but in any movie I would ever do, could I get set dressing that looks like this, please? I mean, if you had set dressing like this, you could make a Hollywood comedy look good. And that takes quite a bit these days. I can actually feel the floor beating hollow underneath me. Jesus. and look at these panoramic windows. I mean, this is just stunning. This must have been gorgeous when this was new. When this was built. No wonder this was a royal order. So how do we get out? Well, jumping out the window. How could you in a fort even think to build a window like this? I mean, this is a battle station. This is a fortress. And you build an enormous panoramic window like that. How do you justify that? Regardless if you're the ruler or you are the fortress builder, how do one say to the other, oh, by the way, in this enormous fighting fort we have here to protect the railroad, let's inside build a huge panoramic windows. You know, it'd look good. Who says that? Who came up with that? Was that the builder or the man who ordered it? I'm going to swing out here. That's almost... Good morning. All right. And these are these terrifying plants. I swear I've come around these before, but never had any idea they were poisonous. Why am I still alive? I ask myself often. So here in I just keep saying this cannot just be decay. It can't be. It just can't be. I'm really going to have to study up on this fortress. Because calling this a fort would be... This would not cover what this really is. So, alright. I have... This is the bunker here we came to. Yeah, with the firing positions. We were in there, looking out. Clearly this is a new construction. And then here's that huge panoramic window. So, with a beautiful rounded curb, no, we need to go in there. Ooh, yeah, clearly we need to go in there. Clearly we need to go in there. So let's see what we'll see. Ah, a collapsed tunnel. That is not what I thought I was going to see. But that one isn't. Cement all the way around, steel overhead, and a really sloping slope. That's going to be a miserable nightmare crawling back up this one, but what are you going to do? That's weird because this must be original. But the entrance to it seemed to have been far more reinforced. I'm coming to the outside there. I thought I would. this is where I think it is, I have to go back. Because now you're coming down to the ditch. Why would there be a port like this leading into the ditch? I ask myself. It's reinforced cement there. Oh, don't know what that is. Yeah, this is where I peeked in before. Why did I just know that? So what is this? Well, that is clearly a new... Maybe this was the original entrance. Hard to say, really. So, let the fitness part of the day begin. I gotta go back up there again. All right. Everywhere hatches for steel doors. Alright, so I remember I don't remember squat. I wasn't in here before. So what's this then? Construction element. Breaked up tunnel. This looks like this was the run to K. Alright, so ventilation perhaps. Didn't I say I really wanted to see? Well, that has been sealed off by the new construction. Steel beam up there. So what's in here and what's down there? Well, okay. Okay. Storage room type thing. This could be a leave behind from older construction. This could have been powder storage rooms. I'm in the block where the machinery was, the kitchen was, the well was here. And then we get into this. And I keep wondering, why is there... Well, I mean, I saw the pillars down below to literally hold up everything. It's fair enough. These grooves here. And there's grooves here as well. Something was in here. There's electricity here. So when we come in here, this better connect to the tunnel we were in before. This is the front room. This is almost like you can just see the outside firing ports, the new ones. This is like the old ones in here. All this looks like a new entrance. And in here you have looks like the old one with old firing ports to defend this area. That's what it looks like. Storage rooms. Heavy steel door hatches here. Lots of storage rooms. This could also have been, these could have been used for prison cells. I would almost imagine they would have to have been, especially when I look at they almost must have been used for prison cells. This looks like an old powder magazine given the ventilation over the door. These almost look like they could have been powder magazines or cells that would have been prisons in the fort, military prison, even before the whole fort turned into a prison. So certainly this could have been a prison wing of this area. Okay. So, hallway, exit, firing positions, hallway, firing position. So this whole section of hallways were defended by close defensive positions, and upstairs from these were artillery positions, powder magazines, and inside was the caserne. And all this cement here is pretty new. We'll come back out to the original old fort. So there's one more tunnel over here that I haven't seen. So have a look at that. So literally, there's a new defensive position, just like here. These are new, or newer, as close defensive positions. Just like the one little pillbox down there. Alright, so beside the dead spider, what am I looking at here? I'm looking at something there. But you look at these steel, heavy steel hinges. I mean, this is not natural decay. There's something happened to this. So, again, what do I have in here? I have a room with a hole in the floor. Actually, I don't know what I had in here. Again, this was protected by a steel door. So what about this? Well, I had expected a longer and deeper tunnel, but alright. Don't always get what I want. But gorgeous it is, just the same.
I don't think there's any amount of filming I could do that would truly lend justice to this place. It is magic in some way. And this is not the last of the magic TSAR's fortresses I will show you this year. Of course, this place is also said to be haunted, and it of course claimed that the Nazis conducted human experiments here during the Second World War. That being said, it is an amazing place, and I can't wait to come back in the winter to show you more.
Behind me is Vanna von Braun's first test stand. Down the road is Diebna's nuclear reactor. Over there is the Maginot Line and all its amazing forts. I'm visiting them all and I'm bringing them to you. So I really appreciate you like, follow, and share what I'm doing, trying to document all these important historical locations. And if you feel like you want to watch more pictures or documents that I use for these, go to lostbattlefields.com. And if you feel like helping me out with my travels, because gasoline and travel and airfare is expensive, my PayPal is there, protectionserviceint.com. You are more than welcome, but you don't have to. I appreciate all your support and all your help, and I love seeing these locations, and I love bringing them to you.